I've never really got nervous about doing a commentary before, but I will admit to you, I am slightly apprehensive about this one. It's the first time that I've ever really written something that I wanted to talk about, and it's a bit weird how it's happened that I've done quite a few videos in the recent weeks. I don't know why that's kind of happened, but yeah, well, here goes with this. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Um, well, one of the things that I think about quite a lot is whether I'm kind of an idealist or whether I'm just kind of naive. Um, it's kind of like fantasy versus reality, really. It's to do with how I want something to work out or be, but dealing with things when they don't quite pan out how I'd like them to. And it's something that I kind of tackle quite regularly. As an example, it's kind of exam period at the moment. So why does 2 weeks of exams have to have such a profound impact on kind of the rest of my life? And the reply to that usually is it just does. So knuckle down and do the work. But then there's also why does the first letter of the alphabet carry so much more weight than the third or the fourth? And accept it. That's the way it is usually the response. And I'd say that these kind of problems consistently kind of scare me and confuse me. Who should I vote for in this election? Should I vote for anyone at all? Who are the people in my life that really matter to me? So for me, as I've said before several times, films and this kind of editing outlet and games, but not so much now, are my kind of primary forms of escapism and expression. And when I engage with this kind of hobby, or whatever you want to call it, kind of the big dark world in many ways seems to be less scary. I saw a tweet this morning from Keza McDonald, and I'll read it to you. It is good, isn't it, to be able to slip into a world where you have control, when the real one seems incomprehensible and terrifying. And I kind of feel like that quite a lot of the time, really. But of course, our experiences can't be placed on a timeline in an editing program through which we can cut out the bits we don't want and add effects to make things look better. There's always the return to the real world. And in the real world, I recently watched 2 videos on the Friend Zone. Now, don't worry, I wasn't looking for advice, but it was just interesting to me. One of them was by a guy called Hutch, and some of you will know him, but some of you won't. And he was saying that this kind of cultural construct, it didn't exist. It was a load of rubbish, really. And this was a series that I came back to that I'd originally watched a few years ago, which influenced me quite a bit. And I'll give you a bit of context. This guy at the time was paying the bills through playing video games, and I've talked about it before, but kind of before I even started YouTube, the idea of making money through playing games a couple of years ago was amazing to me. But the main thing was that was a pretty unconventional thing to be making money by putting videos up on the internet. But he showed that doing something like that could work, and I think the idea of that was what was attractive to me. That things could kind of work out regardless of the rules and what everyone else did. And this guy was, he was extremely intelligent, and he was articulate, and he was expressive, and he was honest as well. And those are traits that I particularly aspire to today. And his videos provided important kind of keyframes in my development as an individual at a time in my life that was particularly problematic. And in some ways I've tried to replicate that effect through my own channel. So in essence, his videos were always kind of very human, and I grew hopeful through watching them that things would kind of always get better. But then there's the other side, kind of the other video, which offers a different perspective, but one that is no less valuable. It's kind of the reality, the hard concrete science of Vsauce videos. It's on Vsauce, that means it's true, whether the fuck all you like it or not. That video implied that the friend zone did indeed exist, and things like this are kind of the source of my confusion. I don't know what should I believe? How should I go about things? Will everything be okay? And beyond that, there's this girl that I know, and she's someone who's so kind of effortlessly and readily grounds things for me, makes the things I say seem completely pointless, almost kind of redundant. She changes my point of view with kind of disturbing ease, really, and in some ways that's intoxicating. But honestly, I feel a bit mad when I talk to her, and it's crazy, pretty much how differently we see things and see the world. So kind of the idealist in me hopes that she'll kind of hear this video, and then maybe one day we'll kind of reconcile our relationship. But the reality side of it is that a lot of the time, things don't work out how you'd want them to. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm trying to kind of figure out what the point of this video was really. A part of me kind of loves doing this thing, but making a video like this where I've written things out, there's always kind of a fear factor that accompanies it. I'm looking at this kind of page that I've written. It's nearly a page and a half long of text that I wrote today. And I think, shit, man, that's probably all bullshit, self-indulgent nonsense. Why did I even spend an hour, 2 hours doing that? I don't even understand what you've said, so how will anyone else? And I don't know, I guess, as I've mentioned a couple times before, it's all just part of my development and coming to terms with things that kind of happened to me, and it's growing up, really, isn't it? So I don't know, maybe the moral of the commentary is that you should do something creative, because it's so often for me that it's just a great tool for kind of diffusing pain, anger, loneliness, confusion, that kind of thing, and the list goes on, really. But yeah, I've come to the end of my page. Don't know what else I can say, really. How long have we got left? Like a minute of the gameplay left. But yeah, kind of a weird, different one from me this time. I don't know what to say. I need to have a drink, and this happened before a couple of times where I needed a drink and I haven't gone and got one, but I'll probably end the commentary here. So if you watched it this far, as always, thanks a lot. I really do appreciate it. And fuck me, I can't believe I wrote a page and a half on this shit today. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a bit.